What is up, guys? This is Linthio coming at you with a card discussion, or two cards to discuss today. That is Frightfur Fusion and Frightfur Factory. First off, we'll talk about Frightfur Fusion. Frightfur Fusion is a spell card, normal spell card, and its effect reads as follows. Fusion summon one Frightfur Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed from it, from your side of the field or from the graveyard. You can only activate it once per turn. The other is Frightfur Factory, that is a continuous spell, and its effect reads as follows. You can banish one polymerization card or fusion spell card from your graveyard, except the fusion wave motion, because, you know, everyone still plays that card. Fusion summon one Frightfur Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or side of the field as fusion materials. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Frightfur Fusions. Add it to your hand. You can only activate the effect of it once per turn. These cards are interesting. This is what Frightfur's so needed, in my opinion. The Frightfur Fusion is perfect. It's basically like a watered down Shadow Fusion, because you can't send from the deck. If you could send from the deck, it would be ridiculous. But if we think about it, you have to have some form of setup on the field or the graveyard to activate either of these. Now, this is a slight problem because Fluffles aren't exactly the quickest things, or Frightfurs aren't exactly the quickest things in the game, and I feel that they need some form of dumping to the graveyard. Now, there are cards that can do that. You can look at your Foolish Burials, you can look at your Summoner Monks to get them out, you can also use Summoner Monk with the second Frightfur Factory to get its effect off. There are so many possibilities with this, and it opens up so many realms of interesting cards and interesting plays that it makes Fluffles kind of, hello, we're still here. So we look at the first one, Frightfur Fusion. Fusion summon one Frightfur Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing one fusion, listed on it, blah 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 blah. Very interesting card, incredibly important card for what this deck needs. This card replaces polymerization because, in my opinion, polymerization in a deck like this is not good. To make an archetype work, you need an archetype-specific fusion summoning card because you need to benefit from the extra effects. Polymerization is one of the oldest fusion, or is the oldest fusion card in the game, and because that it is the oldest one in the game, it means that it cannot stand up to the meta now. What I mean by that is you minus yourself so much just to get a monster on board, and how the game goes now, it's just too much. You're minusing yourself too much. Now that you have Frightfur Fusion, being able to banish from the graveyard, it's nice because it means that you're not minusing yourself as much. If we then go on to the second card, Frightfur Factory, and the very important effect of the last one, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one of your banished Frightfur Fusions, add it to your hand. That's very interesting because it starts all linking together. You see synergy, very nice. I really like both of these cards. I think Frightfur Fusion will be played probably at 2 or 3. At least 2, definitely. Frightfur Factory, I think, will replace the other continuous one that we have now. I can't remember what it is, but it's awful. Frightfur Factory is definitely an interesting card. Frightfur Fusion is a brilliant card for the deck. It would have been nice if it was just a copy of Shadow Fusion, because I think that's what it kind of needed. You don't really need to put the same restrictions on because this is not exactly the most broken of decks like Shadows were, and kind of maybe still are, but that's another video for another time. Being able to fusion summon so much quicker is imperative for this deck. We all knew that when the Fluffles first came out, they obviously weren't a finished product. They weren't a finished deck, and I'm pretty sure that one of the main characters, or one of the quite regular characters in the anime, uses Fluffles and Frightfurs. When that happens, and when that is happening in an anime, you know for a fact it's going to continue to get support, it's going to continue to have cards coming out, and its own little engine. It's just guaranteed. It's always going to happen. We're still getting Utopia cards, and that was in Zexel. So I want to know what you guys think of these two cards. Do you like them? Do you think they're going to be viable? Or do you think they're just kind of adding on to a deck that isn't really going to go anywhere? So as I said, let me know down in the comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I should catch you guys later.